Lovely, yeah. Thank you. Really interesting to hear the other presentations, and I'm delighted to join today. As you say, maybe some people will have seen the first phase of the project and the talk I did around that. I'll just keep my email on screen for the first section there in case it's useful and anyone has any follow-up questions. But we are back as of May this year with the second phase of Northern Ireland Now Contemporary Collecting, this time round with the subheading of Belfast Stories on Screen. So for those that may not know, Belfast Stories will be a huge documentary and archive site and visitor centre that will be in central Belfast and is due to open from 2030. So, as before, this project is run with Nerve Centre and in partnership with Northern Ireland Screen. We receive funding from the BFI, and this time around, we also have additional funding from Belfast City Council. So, if I skip on to the next slide, just to show that I'll show our trailer briefly as well from phase one, just to show a snapshot of previous videos gathered. But just to say that our hope is that then videos that we are contemporarily collecting with community partners will eventually form part of the visitor attraction and experience. An archive that will be on display in this Belfast Story site. And given that it's 2030, it's early doors as to what that will look like, but it's certainly a brilliant opportunity for those who are involved to be a part of. So I'll show this very quick trailer and then I'll move on to discuss the kind of ethical and political dimensions of how we run this project and our aims to work collaboratively and democratize media and born digital video specifically. So as you can see there, a really fun and colourful snapshot of just some of the videos we gathered and as part of our first phase, which was 14 community partners all over the north of Ireland. The collection is available to view freely anywhere in the world on the digital film archive that is managed by Northern Ireland Screen. And it contains a plethora of thousands of clips dating back to the 1890s up to present. Part of where this project initially came in was to identify gaps in the collection and to try and work with groups that were underrepresented to actually diversify what was in and what was representative of Northern Ireland, hence the title Northern Ireland Now. So as I say, moving forward with our second phase, apologies, it skipped on there. Our second phase is with a tighter focus of Belfast stories on screen. We are working with a total of 15 community partners across the city of Belfast. Pictured here is a screening and a showcase we had with one of our partners, a group called SOUP, which is an acronym that stands for Stories of Unruly People. They're a youth group that are part of the Beat Carnival, an initiative on the Shankill Road in Belfast. We engaged with partners from the Nerve Centre and made films with them over Halloween half term that involved them getting to use SFX makeup and learn those skills. And then we had a showcase screening celebration last week with them. So just to put in context, our project is structured around here's our aims and outputs, but it's structured around having workshops that aim to look back at what's in the digital film archive with colleagues from Northern Ireland Screen, address gaps and see how groups can actually be a part of telling the story of Northern Ireland now through their own work and through their own experiences. What we're delighted to have that's a bit different from this for this phase is a more hands-on practical remit. So we're actually able to do more filmmaking skills as well as collecting and gathering videos that may already exist from around the last 5 to 10 years. So it is a very tight contemporary focus, and that sort of stemmed from a realization that there was a lack of certain materials from around 2017 onwards within the digital film archive itself. So we would run workshops, usually 4 to 5 in total with each partner, taking place in situ where the community groups meet, or equally we can run those from our office space in the Nerve Centre where we have a creative learning space. Um, Part of what we're also trying to do is to really not only have the videos in the archive, but actually to bring them out to audiences and to celebrate the work that people have both made and collected with us. One of the ways we're doing that is to have a mini showcase screening with each of the 15 partners as a finale kind of event and celebration of their work to invite friends and family to. So that was what was pictured in the previous slide with soup. Again, as has been touched upon by our speakers today, it's been really fascinating to hear how different things have been co-produced and those learnings from collaborative work. That has been a really big part of this project. And again, trying to finesse and hone in our collaborative working methodologies from our first phase into this new phase as well. So we do that with the way that we engage groups, how the outreach looks, the filmmaking itself, and the cataloging. And I'll briefly show you a couple of examples by way of case study today to sort of show that. And just to say, happy to kind of answer questions as well. So, as I say here, we take a tailored approach to every group that we work with. That includes what the workshops look like and what they may want to make, if they want to focus more on specific parts of the archive and what types of videos they may be interested in. One really good example of this was the way we ran workshops and the sort of output from Black Moon, who are a fantastic group that run monthly club nights for and by people from the disabled community. So they really expressed an interest in running a summer school of 5 days of back-to-back workshops, including that showcase screening in August. And they were really interested in making visuals as a video that could be shown as part of a backdrop of a visual at their club nights. So again, we tailored this approach to listening to what they were interested in making and making the films with them. And I'll show a very brief clip of just one of the many beautiful films that we made and gathered with Black Moon. This is from a participant, Emily Mullen. So really creative and interesting approach, something that has sound but also can be played silently as a club visual, as I mentioned. And in fact, these were showcased in the Black Box venue as part of Belfast's Culture Night celebrations on the 19th of September. And over 1,200 people visited the venue on that evening and saw the visuals projected. So it's a really great way to get audiences in to see groups work, as well as it being then formally kind of documented in the archive as well. So a couple of other examples will be youth groups and how they've chosen to tell stories and to be part of the archive and learn from that. Another group were our East Side Partnership Sure Start, and they wanted to record reflections on their local area in East Belfast. I'm aware I'm kind of running low on time, so I'll just maybe talk a little bit about how our cataloging kind of process is aiming to be collaborative as well, rather than show loads of these clips. Obviously, eventually they will be archived from around June next year onwards when this phase of the project wraps up. But in the meantime, we're really trying to engage with how we gather information to make that an interactive process rather than a formal metadata input. We have a project cataloger, Stephen New, who works in Northern Ireland Screen, and I'm delighted to say we have newly appointed a cataloguing intern, Isabella, who I believe is on the call today, who has been really instrumental in helping us to actually sit with groups and chat about their videos, how they want those to be described, crucially using language and keywords and data that is coming from them and that they are happy with to represent them within the archive. So that's a really key point in how we are collaboratively engaging and cataloging as well. Our third little example then that I'll maybe end on is also this idea of the types of media and the diversity of that, as well as the groups themselves. So we're very open to gathering TikToks, social media content shot in vertical, really informal documentation of things, as well as the more formally conceived videos that we might make with folks. So this is a TikTok a colleague made to document the Beat group and how we went about making stuff with them in those 3 workshops. So I'll quickly play that and then I will wrap up there. Thanks so much.
Today I went down to a workshop run by Beat Carnival in collaboration with Nerve Centre, where young people learned how to do special effects makeup with Christian Coty and turned into scary Halloween characters like zombies, vampires and witches. Then, lights, camera, action. They went.
So as you can
Today,
see from this, it's about documenting the process, having that catalogued formally as well as the groups themselves. And we're really trying to do that in innovative ways and learn from our first phase as we move forward with the Northern Ireland Now Contemporary Collecting Project, phase two. So thanks so much for listening. I'll stop sharing there and I'll wrap up.